Landraces is the part that material that has actually been maintained by the farmers, and they have grown it on their own farm and also made selections. And we're propagating actually that the maintenance and actually the use of genetic resources at the local conditions to, on one side, conserve the genetic diversity and also make it available and usable, and also creating the cultural link between varieties that have been there for a long time and make sure that they still stay on the market. And they are also not as heterogeneous as the organic heterogeneous population, but they're also not as homogeneous as the organic varieties. There's something in between, and they really also has a attachment to the region where they have been developed and maintained over many decades. Yeah, these are actually the 3 types of cultivars that we're promoting in live seeding. And organic heterogeneous material, this term comes from the legal regulation, and it actually means genetically and phenotypically diverse populations. So these are populations that are meant to maintain the diversity in order to adjust to the climatic conditions. So it can adjust to organic growing conditions, but it can also adjust to climate crises, like if we have sudden drought or flooding, so that then the plants can compensate, and only those will survive and have and multiply that are really adjusted to the stress. And that is a big concept, and there we have also this is now possible that since 2022 that is legally allowed to commercialize such seed, and there have been until now 32 notifications of organic heterogeneous material across the European member states. And we are following this up and see how this is going, and we also wanted to see how much it's going with the seed production, and we have seen that organic heterogeneous material are quite successful in short value chains, and really the breeders, the farmers, the seed producers, but then also the millers and the bakers work together, and that they can also get an added benefit by commercializing the product, the bread for example, as a diversity product derived from these heterogeneous populations. Organic varieties is a concept that the whole breeding from the process until the registration, every step is conducted under organic certified conditions, and that this is also compliant with the sector, like the IFAM umbrella organization has published a position paper what breeding techniques are compliant with the principles of organic farming, and these programs of organic breeding are fully dedicated to organic, and these varieties are really adjusted for the organic sector. They are more homogeneous than the organic heterogeneous population, and there is now delegated on implementing directives that there can be a marketing of such organic varieties. So in live seeding we work on organic varieties, as there is now this implementing act that we can get an easier registration for organic varieties, because the main aim to have an easier registration, it's on one side that we don't want to focus on characteristics that are not important for the farmers or the consumers, that they are very homogeneous. And the second really important part is that then the official testing to get the release of an organic variety is actually conducted under organic farming conditions. And this is not yet in place in Europe. That is only in a few countries for a few crops that have implemented that. We have now the situation that for the species that are listed in these implementing directives, the member states are actually obligated to do the testing under organic farming condition, and that's a really big achievement. And now in live seeding we're working on it to develop more adjusted protocols for distinctiveness, uniformity and stability in order to get this directive even possible for much more crops. And at the same time we also try to give our recommendations for the new legislation that are presently under discussion at the European Parliament and the European Council for the new law on plant reproductive material, and there we also want that this easier registration for organic varieties gets implemented into the legal text, and that would be a great achievement. Yeah, I actually started 16 years ago with organic breeding when I joined the Research Institute of Organic Agriculture, and at that time there was no breeding group, and the idea was really first to get an overview who is working there, and at that time it was actually a big discussion about cell fusion, if cell fusion should be allowed in organic agriculture, and also at that time there was the first project that has started with Solibam that was coordinated by Veronique Schable, and that was, so to my knowledge, really the first one dedicated to organic plant breeding, and they introduced a fully new concept that they really did it very participatory. They had multi-actors like farmers, farmer breeders, that are already organized in cooperatives, and they developed together with them, with the support of the researchers, new concepts of organic breeding, and the main outcome of this was the development of composite cross populations. That means populations that are phenotypically and genotypically different, and with this diversity, this genetic diversity, it was able that the population could adjust to stress conditions and also could adapt to the specific requirements that we had in organic plant breeding. And I think that was really the start where it slowly started that organic breeding get a recognition, because even until today I often get the question why we need organic plant breeding. There's only plant breeding. What's all about organic plant breeding? And I think this has changed quite a bit with the European projects, as we had following the Solibam project was healthy food, and then based on that we had the Life Seed project, and I think that Life Seed was the first project where we really tried to concentrate, include many partners from all over Europe to boost not only organic breeding but also the organic seed sector, because we have, for the first time we also made a status quo analysis to find out how much organic seed is actually used in organic production in the different countries for the different crops. And there we have seen that there's a big difference across Europe and also across the crops. And there we have developed all kind of tools and also policy recommendation, and I think we were very lucky that at the same time there were the delegated acts written for the organic regulation, so that we really had a big impact that many things have been taken up in the directives. And now with live seeding, now we're in the phase where we want to translate what the findings that we had in live seed, to bring it to a broader perspective, and to make sure that we really boosting organic seed production and organic plant breeding in all European countries. And there we also realized that the financing and especially the competences for entrepreneurship, it's quite limited, and that's why we do a lot of training on entrepreneurship and developing business models and business plans together with seed companies. And with this we really want to make sure that we have a sustainable seed sector that provides the organic farmers with the necessary seed. So I think it's when I look in the future, it is very clear that with the situation like the Green Deal and Farm to Fork, where we are aiming that Europe has up to 25 organic land area, we really need to increase the organic production, and with that we also need to increase the organic seed production. And in order to do that, we also need to have very good varieties that are suited to the organic sector. And at the moment in the live seed, the last status quo analysis that we did, we found out that on average only 50% of the organic farms actually using organic seed, the other ones having derogation of conventional untreated seed. And so we really see that there is a big potential, and also with the new organic regulation, it is foreseen that this derogation for non-organic seed will be phasing out latest by 2036. So we're developing together with the national authorities roadmaps to see how they can reach the point so that more and more organic varieties will be produced, but also organic seed will be done. And we're also working on a European router database where we can see, and where the producers of organic seed can put their organic seed availability, and organic farmers can also see what is available in their country on the national organic seed databases. And there we really hope and want to showcase also to the seed companies that are not yet involved in organic plant breeding that there's a huge potential, so that they also get motivated to start with organic seed production. And we also see that we have a special focus on Eastern European countries. We also conducting quite a number of policy and stakeholder workshops to really discuss with the ministry, the national authorities, but also with the seed suppliers, to try to convince them why it's important to have organic seed and why it's important that they should support the activities of organic plant breeding, so that this really will have a big impact in the future, and we're convinced that there will be a business case that is sustainable. I think the ultimate message will be that there is a great future for organic breeding and organic seed production, and we follow the message of live seeding, change seed, grow difference, and we're very hopeful that we can get a big change with our project for the sector.